And you see, when I think about this sort of thing, I, I kind of go, well, sometimes the thought in my head will go, well, sure, I've had these conversations before. We've talked about it. There's nothing left to be said, but that's not it. That's not it. What's being talked about is talking. Is what's happening. I get the sense. You know what I mean? So it's not, we are coming here to talk about non-duality, if you know
No.
what I mean. It's,
Yeah.
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 It's very interesting that. Not interesting, that's what it is. It's as much as you can say. And that's why it's really nothing to do with any thoughts that I might have about, oh, well, we've had these conversations. I've talked with Andreas before, so what could I possibly talk to him about?
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Oh, totally.
Hmm.
Of course. I mean, there is no real issue we talk about or non-duality. I actually totally don't like that word, but
Yeah.
it's very dry a bit and dead, I think. But
Well,
yeah,
I think it's tainted. It's not that it's like it's now becoming like the word. It's laden down with too much baggage as a word. It's
really.
owned nearly too much. It's no longer.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's no longer innocent.
It's no longer innocent. Yeah, or whatever you want to say. Maybe Robin has his website called This Nessing, and so I think we're just talking about this. We're talking about what's happening. So
Exactly.
where do you go with that? And I suppose non-duality, the good thing about it was that it kind of splits the brain for a moment. It doesn't mean anything. It's not a thing, and you have to really kind of try to but slowly but surely it's becoming from what I can see, a spiritual, like spirituality and non-duality and carrots and
It's a
God.
branch, meanwhile. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
So yeah, but that's one could say that's why we never arrived somewhere in those talks because we aren't even talking about something. So
Yeah.
there isn't an issue really, and there aren't conclusions from that issues, and you can't work it through to come to an end. So you just never come to an end with them.
Yeah.
It's just what happens apparently, sitting
Yeah.
and talking and all that stuff, but
And you see how it normally is works is okay. What are we going to do today? And here's the purpose for this. We're going to try to unravel everything. And even if you kind of, no matter what way you say anything, the brain still goes, yeah, okay, I know what you're saying, but we still have a purpose to this, surely. Whereas the purpose isn't, it's purposeless from how it doesn't have why would it have a fucking reason when the reason is the reason itself, is for itself, isn't it?
exactly. Oh yeah, one could say so, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there isn't a real purpose in anything. The idea of purpose just isn't real.
Mm.
Or purpose is only, so to speak, an idea, which doesn't have any it's which doesn't have any existence in reality. It just doesn't really exist as something. So there never is a purpose in anything really.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually the so-called
It's the
person.
person, and it's all what the person is, this fishing rod trying to fucking catch a fish all the time and trying to pull shit in a way, in some way. It's, well, maybe I can get something here. That's what the person seems to be at, even though, and it's a yeah, but it misses the point of. But then, in a way, that's just how it is, isn't it? It's just
Exactly.
not
So
a,
it's not really missing something,
yeah, it's
but
the same difference. Yeah, okay, yeah.
one could say the person only consists of being a person and living in that artificial reality. But it doesn't really miss anything. There is
Yeah,
not, in that sense, another possibility for the person, which would be more true. So
yeah,
it completely doesn't matter. Even that, in a way, is just rather a description about what happens than a division into good and bad and be and shouldn't be. It just is what it is. It's, in a way, this is just pointing to the person as what it is, an illusion, so to speak, but it's not in order to make it down, no, to make it wrong or
yeah.
something. So,
Because it's the
no,
same. It's the same happening. It just so happens that in that happening, there's somebody trying to get something, but it's the exact same free happening.
yes,
Even though it
yeah,
feels like it's not, it still is the same happening. Is that what?
exactly.
Yeah,
Yes. It too is what apparently happens, if it is what apparently happens. And it's empty and for no one, and there's no purpose in that either. It's all, it's just the same, no thing.
and
Or
that's
it's
what.
not really different from anything else. That would be again another illusion that I'm different, that the person is different from anything else, or the illusion of a person. But it just isn't.
Yeah, yeah, that's fucking fascinating. Really, that it's the same
So in that
unfolding, even
sense,
if it feels utterly not the same, and that you've got something or whatever. That's why it's not a gain. It's utterly and can never be a gain, because what you're what's happening is a conversation about a conversation. About, it's not even there's not even a beginning to that. It just so happens that we're talking like this here now. That's just seems to be it. It just seems to, talking seems to be happening now, and there seems to be a decoding of what's been said, or an interpretation of it afterwards, or whatever.
yeah,
No, yeah,
yeah, a translating. It's translating into the personal language, so to speak, into the
yeah,
personal world. Yeah, but exactly, that's what's free fallingly happening
yeah.
for no one, for nothing.
Till it doesn't, or it does, or whatever. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but in the end, that even who would care about that? Of course, until it doesn't. Or yeah, but
Yeah, yeah. It's just been said. That's yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
Hmm.
In that sense, in that sense, this message, or what we this message provides an utter yes. It's in a way, the me might constantly hear no, 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 not this, not that, no me, no purpose, no whatever. But in a way, on the other hand, it's just saying yes to what apparently happens. Of
And
course,
and the
and
only reason it's saying yes is because there's nobody there. If you
so
know,
to
there is.
speak,
It's
or
totally. It's the allowance of absolutely all, because there's nobody there negotiating the whole process.
yeah, or the apparent recognition that everything already is whole just by being itself, or whole for no reason in the end. So if you want to,
That was a nice sentence there. Can you remember what you said? 'Cause it's gone out of my head, but it sounded lovely. No, it was,
everything is just naturally whole by simply being itself, but actually for no reason. So by being itself is kind of too much. So if you want to squeeze the word allowance into it somewhere, it's already allowed.
yeah,
Everything is absolutely allowed, but allowed is a bit like
yeah,
you
yeah.
were,
Like there's somebody's
you
allowed
know.
it. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
so it just
yeah.
already is as it is. whole.
Yeah.
That's the yes. It's inherent. No one is saying yes to anything. You know, yes is the same as allowing in a way. But everything is inherently saying yes.
Yeah, I feel what you mean. I'm feeling you. As opposed to, I get you. I sense what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. That's sure.